Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming back to our Yizkor service. Again, in honor of Spanish Heritage Month, we say bienvenidos a todos. Es un placer de verles. Baruchim habayim l'chol echad. Wonderful to see you. And we are going to have our Yizkor service and our closing Neilah service all in one. And we should do it rather expeditiously so that you can go out and have a really wonderful break the fast. So we're going to start out with a responsive reading where the print is in bold. Please join in. If the existing generation were given the chance to live forever, but on the clear understanding that never again would there be a child, never again new persons with new hopes, new ideas, new achievements, could our answer be in doubt?
We shall not fear death. We shall remember those whose lives have ended. Imagine those who will come after us.
Let us treasure the time we have and resolve to use it well, counting each moment precious, a chance to apprehend some truth, to experience some beauty, to conquer some evil, to relieve some suffering, to love and be loved, to achieve something of lasting worth.
Let us fulfill the promise that this is in each of us and conduct ourselves so that generations from now it will be true to say of us, the world is better because for a brief time they live.
The eye is never satisfied with seeing. Endless are the desires of the heart. Like Moses, we behold the promised land from afar, but will not enter. We die wanting more of life. For each of us, our time on this earth is too short. Prosperous and needy, strong and infirm, learned and unlettered, all are equal in death. The grave levels all distinctions, brings kinship to all humanity. We continue with Eli, Eli. Senesh, who wrote this, was from Hungary. She migrated to Israel, and then during the Second World War, risked her life and gave her life parachuting in to try to save some of her people from the Nazis. She was murdered and died a martyr's death, but she still lives on in this beautiful poem set to music, Hannah Senesh. When we see these simple words, see someone who appreciated and loved life so much and didn't get a chance to enjoy it for too long because of a conscious choice, we feel kind of embarrassed when we complain, why did I get sick? Why do I have this disease? Why might I only live to 80? or 70 or 65. We're embarrassed by our ancestors who went through so much, who didn't have access to medical science. We read these words and we're inclined to give thanks for all of our blessings and to see our life through new eyes of appreciation. Source of life, at this hour of memorial, we recall with grief all those who have perished through the cruelty of the oppressor. Victims of hate, their deaths have brought darkness to the human soul. They lie in nameless graves and far-off forests, lonely fields and among the rubble of destruction. And yet they shall never be forgotten. We take them into our hearts and give them a place beside the cherished memories of our own loved ones. They become ours. Thus will their memory become an enduring blessing of compassion. Remember those who have died in years past and our loved ones whom death has taken from our midst this year. Taking these dear ones into our hearts with all our beloved, we'll recall each with reverence. The Nachamun.
Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle to take care of one another. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle in this world. Nachamu, Nachamu.
To remember Yizkor is an opportunity to remember those people in our lives who are no longer alive, to dwell for a few moments on the lives that they lived, to remember the lessons that they taught us by word or by deed, to reflect on how much we miss them, to mourn their passing and to weep for their absence, to be thankful that they were part of our lives, to focus on the bonds that continue to join us, to move closer to letting go of those loose ends,
Reflect on the impermanence and fragility of life,
to remind ourselves that sometimes people die tragically before their time,
to consider our own mortality,
to value our own lives and to resolve to use our time wisely.
to reflect on what lives after us.
Shaviti Adonai lenegdi tamid ki mimini bal amot. I have set eternity in mind at the sacred hour. Thus I give thanks for every precious moment of life I have been granted. Therefore does my heart exult and my soul rejoice. Let me make the most out of this precious gift of life and be worthy of its blessings. This is a rendition that I wrote of the 23rd Psalm, a modern version reflecting a cosmic Jewish approach. The world is my treasure, I shall not want. I give thanks for green pastures that provide our daily bread. I rejoice in the sacred waters of ocean, rivers, lakes, and streams, the sources of life. May we restore their purity for the earth's sake and for the sake of all future generations. I seek the spiritual path and the peace of a good name. Yea, though I walk in the valley of the shadow of mortality, I shall fear no evil. For reason and love they comfort me, and I have no need of false gods. My enemies are no more when I make them my friends. My mind is anointed with reason. My Yiddish cup overflows, it runneth over with emet, and my heart rejoices with tzedek, with righteousness. Surely I shall pursue kindness and mercy all the days of my life, and share these qualities with others, and thus I shall dwell in the abode of love and peace forever.
When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes, your mind, your soul, and your hopes and dreams. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away.
We're now going to have some moments of personal meditation to remember our loved ones. I just want to share with you something that I've picked up from my parents. My mom had the sad situation of having my brother pass away suddenly and unexpectedly. He seemed like the epitome of good health in his 50s. And when that happened, it was a great shock to all of us. And it was a difficult time. Before long, she had his picture, very vibrant and very full of life, on the piano. And her mood shifted, and she was very happy for the life that she engendered in my brother and for all the years they spent. And when people asked her about it, well, how can you just accept something like that with equanimity? She said, I cannot change the facts, but I can change my attitude. And her attitude was, he was an incredible person, and he was. We had a beautiful relationship, and I'm glad he had so many good years, shared so much love and joy, and she chose to focus on that. Not all of us have that strength of character, but I would venture to say that all of our loved ones would want us to feel good and feel happy when we think of them. And not think about the fact that they're not with us, but remember all the joy that we shared. And so when we read these prayers and think these meditations, and maybe a little of her attitude can influence us. So let us read silently together, or conjure up whatever thoughts motivate you at this sacred hour. going to continue with the El Moleh Rachamim. El Moleh Rachamim means God full of compassion. Rachamim related to the word Rachmanas. And many people think it's a little odd. We're remembering our loved ones who are no longer with us, and we're referring to God as full of compassion. What kind of compassion is that? Kind of like my mom's attitude. We Jews, we do things that are somewhat counterintuitive. When life is taken away from us, we give thanks and we rejoice in the life that we shared and the miracle of life on this planet. You know, the scientists tell us that when the fertilized egg in the human body first comes together, the vast majority of them don't make it. They're spontaneously aborted in the very early stages, first minutes, hours, days, and the woman doesn't even know. We don't realize it, but just our presence here, the fact that we survived that and that we exist, it's a miracle. And so when we read the El Moleh Rachamim, we give thanks that we beat the odds. We give thanks for our parents. We give thanks for life. And how many years we had with our loved ones. We give thanks for all of those wonderful years with the El Moleh Rachamim. El Moleh Rachamim, Shochen Bam Homim, Hametzin Nocham Nechona Tachat Kanafei HaShchina, Im Kedoshim Utochrim, Kezohar HaKir Masilim, Nishmot Yakireinu Shehalachum L'Olamam, Baal HaRachamim, Yaskirem, Beseter Knafav L'Olamim, V'yitzro B'yitzro Hechayim, Ed Nishmatam, Adonai Hu Nachalotam, V'yanuchu B'Shalom Al Mishkavam, V'nomar Amen. Usually that's translated in terms of hoping that they're going to live happily ever after in the hereafter. Many Jews aren't really focused on the hereafter, but what do we hereafter in this world? And we know that they do indeed truly live forever when they live within our hearts and our memories, when they inspire us to do acts of kindness, when we rejoice in their living, they live through us. We continue now with reading Zichronam Livracha, which means may their memory be a blessing. We will make their memory a blessing when we recall what was good and noble about them and allow those qualities to be perpetuated in us. We have some congregational messages now from Sharon Leibovitz.
Good afternoon, Shalom, Lashana Tov, and good Yantiv to all of you. Thank you for being here with us today. I'm Sharon Leibovitz, and it's my pleasure to speak with you. Thank you for joining with us on this most awesome and holy day of Yom Kippur. As we remember our loved ones who are no longer with us, and we move forward into the future, we carry some of them, some of each of them within us, within our hearts, within our minds, and within our souls. Let's make them proud. Let's change to become more involved in Judaism as these High Holy Days 2022 come to a close. As our founding rabbi, Rabbi Sam Silver, Rabbi Barry's father, used to say, let's not be revolving door Jews in on Rosh Hashanah and out on Yom Kippur. Let's participate and play an active role in what L'Dor Va-Dor offers, a relevant and rational approach to Judaism that we can all relate to. We have a new year in front of us, right there before our eyes, a year that we can reinvent each of ourselves, to be better people than we were, to rid ourselves of bad habits that we might have made, and to start afresh. We welcome you, all of you, to join us for Shabbat, where we gather weekly to embrace this beautiful holiday. Not only is Shabbat a day of rest, but it's a time when we can be together as friends and community. This Friday, October 14th, we will celebrate Shabbat and Sukkot together at the Carlisle Palm Beach, 450 East Ocean Avenue, Lantana at 7 p.m., and we invite you. Join with us and celebrate the holiday of Simchas Torah together outdoors on Sunday, October 16th at 3 p.m. in the West Boynton Park. Help us to roll the Torah from the end of Deuteronomy to the beginning of Genesis and enjoy a fun afternoon with music, song, and of course, some nash. And we hope that you'll bring the kinder, the children, and the grandchildren too. Join us as we discuss Torah for the upcoming Shabbat and how it relates to our lives in today's world, each Tuesday evening on Zoom with Rabbi Barry. Join us for a wonderful song fest with music of Carole King and Paul Simon, and sing along in a special Zoom program on October 30th at 4 p.m. Enjoy discussions about current events and topics dear to us monthly on Zoom. We are also planning monthly ladies' luncheons where we want to include all of you women. Find out about all of these and more on our website, ledorvador.org. We ask you to be a part of Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor and help us to plan our future, to create exciting and memorable events and programs that we can all enjoy and share together. Take part in building the Judaism of Tomorrow Today with L'Dor Va-Dor. Like any recipe, there are several ingredients needed for the successful result. Our recipe for success needs you and your support, and together we can build and maintain our religion in a way that you and future generations will want to continue and pursue. L'Dor Va-Dor, from generation to generation. Please don't leave following this service and these high holy days and turn your back on Judaism for yet another year. Instead, turn forward to L'Dor Va-Dor. We offer a unique and special way to look at the world and Judaism, and we want and need you to be involved in this. We have non-mandatory dues, so whatever you wish and are able to donate towards being a member of our congregation, L'Dor Va-Dor, will be accepted. The future of L'Dor Va-Dor depends on this. Soon we will hear the sounding of the shofar. Let its voice call to our innermost spirit, our ruach, to change for the better in this new year, 5783. I'd like to thank Rabbi Barry Silver, Cantor Carol Garrett, Cantorial soloist Andy Susman, Kevin Ohm, Arturo Sarmiento, Laura Petrella, my husband Eduardo, Suzanne Burstein, and our whole congregation board. A huge thank you to all of our volunteers from beginning to end, for without you, there would be no high holiday services this year. We hope that you will have a year filled with love, filled with joy, and filled with peace, both within and without. And we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of L'Dor Va-Dor. L'Shana Tova to each of you, with love from me to you.
Thank you very much, Sharon, for all you've done to make these services possible. I'm going to let you in on a little discussion behind the scenes that we had with the board of Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor. We were discussing what we should charge for the services. And, well, there's maybe 85, 95. There's a lot of discussion about that. I came up with the concept that we shouldn't charge anything, because we should just welcome anybody who wants to practice Judaism with open arms, and everybody's welcome here. And that's what we have done. It's an experiment. The congregation has certain dues that they have to make, otherwise the congregation doesn't exist anymore. I thought it might be nice to put our faith in the Jewish community and in what we have to offer. If what we're offering is of no value or benefit, or you find it better somewhere else, then that's fine. But if what we're doing seems to make sense to you, and if you'd like to get more out of it, you know, we have the vaccine against all these horrible diseases like arrogance and ignorance. It's the vaccine of love, and we give a booster shot every Shabbat. So if you'd like to get more benefit out of it, what we're asking for is not a mandatory amount that you pay to get in. I'm happy to welcome everybody to come in at no charge. It's a pleasure to see everybody here. But if there's something here that you like, then you might want to consider investing either your time, your talent, or your treasure. By that I mean if you have a little time and on a Friday night you have nothing else to do, or you feel inspired, come and join us. Bring a friend. If you have some talent that you know how to do, maybe you know how to make a flyer, or you're good at social media, or you can run an event, or you know how to cook or bake or something like that, and you'd like to share a little of that with us, that would be awesome. If you're doing pretty well financially and you can afford to make a little donation, or you want to become a member, that would be great too. But what we're interested in is not so much how much you're going to contribute financially, but we would like you to become part of our congregational family, because we are doing things that I think are important. Not just the litigation on behalf of women's rights, but an interfaith dialogue, bringing people together. A rational approach to Judaism so that religion might be able to actually be used to build bridges of understanding and not just walls of separation. And so we have faith in the Jewish community, and if you like what you see, we encourage you to come and join us. I just want to share something else about, there's two words in Hebrew for people who have died. One is called met, and it means, literally means they're dead, and it's related to checkmate. The sheikh, or the shah, is dead. And the other one is niftal. Niftal means that you've crossed over into a different realm. Those people who live only for their own needs, who just want to satisfy their physical needs, when they die, they're met. They're no more, because their physical needs are done, and there's nothing left. There's other people who live to be of service to others, who want to be a loving influence in the world. There are people who are connected with the Jewish people, and not just an individual, but part of a chain, like a relay race, people who want to make this world better, and who've done their part and move on and leave their legacy. Those are the people in Yizkor. That's what we aspire to be. Those people live on. In this service that we do for Yizkor, we remember them because they live on. And the people that live on, that we remember with this song, is called Am Yisrael Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Our fathers still live. They live through us. Every time we decide to delve into our precious heritage and remember their ideals and pass it on to others. Am Yisrael Chai.
Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. His days will never die. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai.
We're now going to continue with the Neilah service, which will conclude with the reading of the Kaddish. And we're going to sing a song called Pitchu. Pitchu lano sha'arei Neilah, navo vam noder ya.
Pikulanu sha'arei
together. May the gates of redemption remain open to us so that we may enter the realm of spiritual joy. As the sun sets and we pass through the final gates of this day, may we live with faith in our ability to improve our lives.
Our tradition teaches us that on Yom Kippur we emerge reborn. May our eyes be open to see justice, and may our hands be open to do mitzvot.
As the gates close, P'tach libi b'toratecha, let our hearts be open to wisdom. We remember, we bear our souls, we return.
We return, we return, we return again. We return, we return, we return again and again to love.
Forgive your neighbors the wrongs they have done you, and when you seek forgiveness, you can do so with a pure heart. If I nurse anger against others, can I seek pardon from those I have wronged?
Consider that life is short and cease to hate. Remember that life comes with an expiration date, and teshuvah must happen now.
Let not the fierce sun dry one tear of pain before you have wiped the tears from the sufferer's eyes.
For transgressions against ethical ideals, the Day of Atonement atones. But for transgressions of one human being against another, the Day of Atonement does not atone until they have made peace with one another.
Please rise for the Tefillah Avot Yimachot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Socha, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Reah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon, Kol Mel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol, v'Zocher Chazdei Avot v'Imachot, v'Mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Zachrenu L'Chayim Melech Hafetz B'Chayim, וכתבנו בספר החיים למענך אלוהים חיים, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת בשורה. Please be seated. We continue with Kadosh, Kadosh.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Zebaot, V'kol
Every life is holy, each of us is sacred. Let us bless the holiness within us and all living things every day. We continue now with the Modim Anachnu Lach, we give thanks. Modim Anachnu Lach, Shata Hu Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu, Ve'Elohei Kol Basar, Yotzleinu Yotzer B'Reshit. For the glory of life and for its wonder, we give thanks. We rejoice in goodness and compassion forever. We remember what Albert Einstein taught us. You can view life as if all is a miracle or nothing is a miracle. That's up to us. Each one could be seen valid. But he and the Jewish people view all life as a miracle, and we give thanks. May we work towards peace, our most precious gift, and may we have the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth.
May our land be blessed as a stronghold of peace and its advocate among the nations.
May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes.
May we strengthen the bonds of friendship among the inhabitants of all lands, and may love hallow every home and every heart.
Let us labor for righteousness so that we may write a new chapter in our book of life of blessing and peace. Shalom Rav. May Israel know enduring peace, prosperity, and acts of loving kindness. And may Israel continue to share these blessings with the world. And Israel here is referring to the entire Jewish people. Fashioned in the image of the sacred, we seek forgiveness for not living up to our highest potential.
We stand in awe before the daily miracles which surround us and lie within us.
Our souls tremble as we realize how fortunate we are to be blessed with the gift of life.
On these days of awe, we stand in awe at the beauty of the setting sun.
May we learn to overcome our sins, our dishonest ways, and be pardoned as the gates begin to close.
We stand in awe before the daily miracles which surround us and lie within us.
Let us find refuge and protection from the power of truth and kindness as the gates begin to close.
On these days of awe, we stand in awe at the ability we have to exchange love with other species, such as canines and feline.
May the eyes of the wicked be opened. May the hearts of those who wage war be turned as the gates begin to close.
We stand in awe before the daily miracles which surround us and lie within us.
May the hearts of mothers and fathers turn towards each other and their children in love as the gates begin to close.
On these days of awe, we stand in awe at the ability of plants to harness energy from the sun and our ability to utilize this energy by consuming plants.
May we proclaim a year of favor, honor, and glory for the Jewish people as seekers of peace as the gates begin to close.
On these days of awe, we stand in awe at the ability of scientific geniuses to unlock unlock the mysteries of nature, and spiritual visionaries to unlock the hardness of the human heart.
May Jews who may have gone astray remember the glory of our past and rejoin our people as a kingdom of priests.
We stand in awe before the daily miracles which surround us and lie within us. May we tap into this awesome power to take up our role as the hope of mankind and the source of peace and blessing.
On these days of awe, when we remember the birth of the universe and the birth of our planet, we ask ourselves, do we stand in awe as we look upon this earth? Or do we treat earth in an awful manner? We should turn our ways and return to viewing earth with reverence and love. We're now going to continue with the Avinu Malkeinu. Please rise. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, let us hear the voice of reason.
Avinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lipanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, we sin when we justify wrong rather than acting justly.
Avinu Malkeinu Chamol Aleinu V'Ala Aleinu V'Tapenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, may our passion be for compassion, and may others have compassion upon us.
Avinu Malkeinu Kale Devo V'Cherev V'Ra'av Me Aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, may we join together in working for the day when pandemics, war, famine, and climate disasters shall finally end.
Avinu Malkeinu Kale Kol Tsar U'Masin Me Aleinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, let us hearken to the voice of reason and compassion, and let them be sovereign in our lives.
Avinu Malkeinu Katvenu B'Sefer Chayim Tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, may we write a new, exciting chapter in our unique book of life.
Avinu Malkeinu Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova.
Avinu Malkeinu, may we be blessed with a good year.
Avinu Malkeinu Chanenu V'Yanenu Ki En Banu Ma'asim Aseh Imanu Tzedakah V'Chesed V'Hoshienu.
Avinu Malkeinu, may we be inspired by the faith, courage, and ideals of our ancestors to pursue their dreams of fashioning a world of kindness, love, and peace.
Please be seated. We sing the Avinu Malkeinu. We continue with Rachum B'Chanun. Rachum B'Chanun, Chatan Lipanecha, Rachem Aleinu, Adon, Haslichot, Bocher Levarbot, Goler Amukot, Dover Tzedakot, Chatan Lipanecha, Rachem Aleinu. May we be a source of mercy and grace in the world. We have sinned, but we are capable of overcoming sin. When we are honest with ourselves, we take the first step towards rising above our bad inclination and becoming the source of goodness we were meant to be. We will give thanks by giving our lives purpose. We offer the work of our hands and use our voice to give hope.
Let our hearts be filled with love for life and all creatures on earth as reflections of the divine creative essence that permeates the cosmos.
Then shall our souls rejoice and sing. Our grief will turn to joy. We shall be released from anguish and our hearts will be uplifted.
We shall be enveloped in gladness and redeemed unto life.
My friends, our parents and our grandparents have left for us a GPS, a guiding parental spirit, or a grandparent spirit. It's a little voice inside of us. If we get rid of all the cacophony around us, it gives us direction. It helps us find our destination. It tells us, I love you, you're special, you're unique, you're wonderful, and I see all the potential in you, even if you don't see it in yourself. May we respond to that call of our parents to live up to all the dreams, all the hopes they had for us. And may we also, both while we're here and thereafter, serve as a guiding parental spirit or grandparent spirit for our children and grandchildren. Let us ask ourselves by our deeds and our words and our clinging to our heritage and fighting for values we believe in. Let us serve as a guidepost, giving direction, guidance to our loved ones, so that we may be a blessing in their lives and a source of peace. We will give thanks by giving our lives purpose. We offer the work of our hands and use our voice to give hope. Let our hearts be filled with love for life and all creatures on earth. We continue now with the Aleinu. Please stand.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon HaKol, v'atei gedula yotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu goyei haratzon, velo samanu mishpot ha'adamah, shelo sam yilkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kekol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim b'nei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz vayom ahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo
In loving memory of our parents and our dear ones who shared their love with us and who have now transmitted to us the ability to perpetuate all that was good and beautiful and meaningful and noble in their lives so that they may continue to live through us. We read together the Kaddish. Yizkidal Yizkidash Shemerabah V'yomad Yivrach Ruseh V'yamlich Malchuseh V'chayachon V'yomechon V'chayed V'chol Beis Yisrael V'agalav Izman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehei Shemer Abba V'yivorach L'olam Ulmei Ulmayan Yisborach V'yistabach V'yisboar V'yischamam V'yisnaseh V'yisadar V'yisaleh V'yisalach Shemer Kedusha V'rechun Le'elam En Kol Berchasa V'shirasa Tushbechasa V'nechamasa Ta'am Yochon V'yoma V'yimru Amen. Yehei Shlom HaRabba Min Shmaya V'chayim Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. We stay standing. We have a few concluding prayers. The Shema, we recite once. Now we read the Baruch Shem 3 times. Baruch Shem kavod malchuto le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem kavod malchuto le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem kavod malchuto le'olam va'ed. And then we read the last line 7 times. Everyone can join me if you'd like. Adonai hu Elohim, 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 Adonai hu Elohim. Next we have the closing benediction. I will give this benediction from a story about the man traveling in the wilderness. It's hot. He sees a beautiful tree with wonderful fruit, eats some of the fruit, and enjoys it, and then wants to give a blessing to the tree. But he figures the tree has everything. What could he possibly bless the tree with? So he says, I know. My blessing for you is that you produce offspring, progeny, that grows up strong and vibrant like you are. And that is a source of nourishment and a source of joy and benefit to others. That is my blessing for everyone here today. That is my blessing for this congregation and for the Jewish people, that we will be able to produce offspring that are going to help set this world aright, that will be able to cure some of the ills that we see around us. May we serve as that influence upon them, so that we will launch them filled with Yiddishkeit and Jewish ideals and beliefs, so that they will be a blessing, and then through them, we also will be a blessing. Please be seated. It's my pleasure now to call up for the sounding of the shofar, Sharon Leibovitz and Debbie Fremet.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyemanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh.
We give thanks to the creative power in the universe for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this season and to hear the sounds of the shofar, to still be alive today so that we can say, shofar, show good.
The blessing for the shofar. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, lishmoa kol shofar. And the calls of the shofar for the year 5783, Yom Kippur. Tekiah, Shavarim Teruah, Tekiah, Tekiah, Shavarim, Tekiah, Tekiah, Teruah, Tekiah Gedolah, L'chaim.
I think Debbie just set a record for the longest shofar blast. That was quite extraordinary. I want to thank her, and I want to thank Sharon. If anyone says to you, did you have a good time at the Yom Kippur service over at Santa Lucia? You can truly say, we had a blast.
Shofar, so good.
Yes, and I hope that call of the shofar, the call to arms against the bad impulses in us and our society, I hope that'll help us to blast right through all the problems that we see. What's really important to remember about the shofar, it reminds us of the indomitable spirit and the incurable optimism of the Jewish people. It starts out pure, and then it's interrupted. There's breaks, broken promises, and then there's it's wailing that we've caused by our actions. But how does it end? It ends with a shofar blast, a tikiyah, as pure and as loud and as strong as ever before and even greater. And that reminds us that wherever we have gone, no matter how we've transgressed, whatever tragedy we suffered, whatever things have gone wrong, we remember that we have the capacity to come back even better than before. And so we remember the phrase in French, c'est parfois au cours des heures plus sombres que naisse la plus belle lumière. It is perhaps at the times of the darkest hour that is born the greatest light. And we are going through some dark times. And the shofar reminds us that as Jews, we believe, Yahonu Chala, we shall overcome. And now we have the singing of Tefillat HaDerech.
May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen. Sing along. May we be sheltered by the wings of peace. May we be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find its way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen.
Well, I only have one page left, and it's a short one before we conclude the service. But before I do that, and I thank you for sticking around to the end, I just want to share with you something that I did. It was a little bit sneaky on my part. Usually I'm pretty straightforward, and I don't try to deceive. But as someone who hangs out in progressive circles, with the environmental movement, the pro-choice movement, the civil rights movements, I deal with progressives all the time, and many of them, sadly, have turned anti-Israel. You would think that groups who care about civil rights would embrace the one country in the Middle East that actually practices civil rights, but they don't. and we can speculate why. Perhaps anti-Semitism has a little or a lot to do with it, and I've challenged them every time. And I've been tossed out of quite a few organizations, even ones that I founded, because I dared to speak up on behalf of the state of Israel. Not defending everything they do. I happen to find the settlers a little unsettling, but defending the right of Israel to exist as a bastion of democracy. So here's the subterfuge I use. In Spanish, I do a lot of rallies, and I go out and I say, let's do a cheer in Spanish. Juntos unidos, jamás vencidos. And I say that here on Hispanic Heritage Night, or month rather. Juntos unidos means together united. Jamás means never. Vencidos means defeated or vanquished. Juntos unidos, jamás vencidos means together united, will never be defeated. And all the progressives, they all yell with me, and I've led the charge, Juntos unidos, jamás, but they don't realize it also means together united, Hamas will be defeated. And all these progressives were yelling and screaming that. So if I'd like you to do me this favor in the Spanish Heritage Month, if you'd repeat after me. Juntos unidos.
Juntos unidos.
Jamás vencidos.
Jamás
And
vencidos.
in English we say, together united will never be divided. And in Hebrew, the slogan that I always use at every rally, Kulanu yachad en lanu pachad. That means together, united, we have no fear. Yes, there are people who try to intimidate us and people who try to squelch our Judaism. But together, united, we have no fear. We will stand up and be proud of our Jewish heritage and celebrate our right to be free as Americans. Thank you very much, everyone, for the privilege of having the most wonderful, I won't even call it a job, the most wonderful, enjoyable experience anybody could have. To be with the Jewish community and to share some thoughts about our wonderful, incredible heritage and our precious ability to improve for the better and make this world a better place. Thank you. Thank you very much for spending time with us. And if there's anything I can do in the future, you can call on me anytime. And I'll be glad to come over, chat, meet with you and your friends. And now we conclude this service, L'Shana Tova Tikatevu V'Techatemo. May you be inscribed for a good year.
L'Shana Tova Tikatevu, L'Shana Tova Tikatevu, May you be inscribed in the book of life.
Enjoy your break, the fast. Enjoy your families. Enjoy the remainder of the holiday. L'Shana Tova.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome.